I find that starting at the beginning is definitely a very good place to start, right? Dr. Covey tells us to begin with the end in mind in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but the very first word in that sentence is to begin. So start at the beginning, not somewhere in the middle, not telling them about you and your builder. It's all about them at this point in the conversation. As I mentioned earlier, there is a critical path to selling homes. Anybody in a previous life, were you ever in manufacturing or healthcare? Anybody? No? In manufacturing, let's take I think a car is probably the easiest one to visualize. If we started from the ground up building a car, what would be the first thing that would go on the car? What touches the ground? The tires. Are the tires the first thing that the automobile manufacturers put on? No, in fact, they're the last. Because there's nothing to attach it to, right? You got a whole bunch of stuff to do before you get there. Well, it's the same thing in critical path selling. Critical path selling is the easiest easiest path from point A to point B. It's the most direct route to get you there. If you will follow the critical path, you're going to get there far more often than not, and definitely more often than winging it. You've heard the expression, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. Don't be a blind squirrel. Because the blind squirrel doesn't know how it found the nut. It only knows that it did. So it's just going to continue to frantically look for nuts in that area rather than having a plan. How am I going to get more? So the critical path, I broke it down. I mean, and you will hear that all of the trainers in the industry, we all use some version of this, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. So I don't care if you call it the this formula or the that formula or the 3 or the 4 or the 7 or whatever, branding name it is. But what I did find is if I broke it down into 3 sections, it became easier for people to categorize and to remember. So getting to know you is step 1, getting to know your prospects. Spend the time. Do not bypass the meet and greet. This is the foundation of your relationship. You got to have that. Then you're going to move into discovery. Not presentation. You got to go into discovery. We're going to talk about in depth. What is discovery? What do you need to know to be able to move forward? Then and only then do we present a solution. Because now we know what they want. What are they looking for? But you can't start with the presentation. Despite the fact that a lot of your general realtor friends will come in and tell you this person is looking for 1,800 to 2,000 square feet, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and we go, oh, I know exactly what you mean. Here are my choices. You can't do that. You skipped a few steps. In fact, you skipped the most critical ones. So even if it's your general realtor coming in the door, share with your general realtors when they schedule an appointment with you, and yes, you can train and teach them and encourage them to schedule appointments with you. That you're going to need some time to get up to speed to where they are. You haven't been driving these buyers around for 3 weekends in a row. You need to get to know them too. Share with your realtors what you're going to do and set those expectations of how much time it takes to look at new homes. Looking at new homes is not like looking at used homes, is it? No, you can't just drive by or open the front door and it smells like a cat and you go, oh no. We have choices, don't we? Some of you have a whole bunch of choices. We have options. We have ways that we can help people. They don't like this one. They don't like this one on this home site. Guess what? We can build it for them over here. They don't like those cabinets. We can put these in. They want that bonus room feature. We can do that. Whatever your choices are. So there's more to it. You've got to teach your realtors, though, that in order for you to be able to do that successfully, you're going to need to be able to build that rapport, to build that foundation. You're not trying to take their buyer away from them. You're trying to partner with them. And your buyers will appreciate it so much more. You're going to see that you get such a different reaction when you will take that time up front. Spend the time with them, getting to know them, and make it about them. It's not about you, it's about them. And then, of course, we're going to demonstrate, we're going to go out, we're going to show them the home sites and narrow things down to that one of a kind, the total package, and put it together for them. And then we're going to assist them, because now that we found it, we switch gears, right? We go from selling to helping them own it. As your realtors should too. Teach your realtors when they find it today, because I spend the time with them up front and you've already done all your research and you brought them here. What's going to happen is this thing is going to come together. And when it does, be prepared. No more of this, oh, we have 3 more appointments, we've got to go somewhere else. That never happens, right? Prepare them for that, and you prepare yourself for that, because when you do this, you can do it in 1 appointment. I work with a custom builder in Virginia right now. This is a really fun project for me. I've worked with builders who, I come from the production world, but I work with builders who do both. I work with some who do some scatter site or some tear downs, but the bulk of their business is production. I've worked with builders who are going from custom to trying to become more production minded or semi-custom. But this is the first time I've worked with a truly custom scatter site, owns no land builder. Covers the entire state of Virginia, part of West Virginia, Maryland, and a little bit of Pennsylvania even. He has 5 selection centers that his salespeople work out of. We're currently selling about 15 homes a month, scatter site. Applying these principles. I don't care what your product is, and we're selling oftentimes on the first visit. Scatter site. There's no model to walk through. We make it about the buyer. And once we started doing that, we saw our sales rate go up exponentially. No one had ever bothered to talk to them about this. When their buyers would come in, it was, oh, look at our 99 floor plans and all of them are customizable, and wow, look at our selection center. We've been in business this many years, and let's walk through and let's touch all this product. All we had to do was slow down, spend the time getting to know the buyer. We eliminated all the clutter. We made it about them. We didn't have to go through all that. They can come back and have a beautiful selections appointment at a later date. They didn't need all that. So this is the critical path. And if anybody wants a copy of these, you can email me afterwards or reach out to me on my website. I'll be happy to get them to you.